Hello, and welcome back for another episode of Empowering Intuitives Talk Show. I am your host, Reverend Dr. Michelle Walker, and tonight I really wanted to get into what's really going on. Coming out of meditation, Spirit really has been talking to me a lot for the past couple months about what people are going through and how we're experiencing the world, right? And one thing that has been very consistent, and I think a lot of this stemmed back from before the pandemic, and of course that just amplified everything. And a lot of people were feeling disconnected from each other, from themselves, from the divine. And we're really coming into this transitional space of trying to reemerge from the pandemic, and with that, reemerge back to who we are and learning how to get along and function again. And what Spirit is talking about mostly was about this lack of or loss of bliss. What is your bliss? What is your reason for getting up and getting moving every day? And I think what we're going to focus on over the next several episodes is different aspects of that, of finding your purpose, finding your joy in life. And how do we do that, right? Let's just get down to it. How do we do that? I recently was in this class where we're talking about and expanding on meditation and the teachings of Jesus. And it's such a really profound class for me because this completely has engulfed bliss and finding that and looking at that across multiple religions and times. And one of the profound things that we have to remember as we are divine beings in human form. And Candace Pert, she's a PhD that did a lot of studies, and through her one study proved, if you will, or hypothesized, that we are hardwired for happiness and bliss, both physically and through the divine. Our brains have evolved to appreciate, to pay attention to, and to be guided by pleasure. And it's very unnatural for us to live without pleasure. Well, doesn't that coincide with what was going on with the pandemic? There wasn't a whole lot of pleasure. We were in quarantine. We've had to learn how to be with ourselves, be with our family in such close quarters, right? And a lot of the pleasure in life was taken away in so many ways. And it did enhance that separation from each other. Physically, we were quarantined, and it also for some, it held them in this state of disconnection, not just from each other, but from community, from their true selves. Other people through the pandemic, we focused on the internal work and emerged even more connected to the divine. And so that is what perception can do for us, right? Remember, the quality of our emotions equate our frequency. And if we increase our frequency, we can increase and express that more in our lives. And this is where the law of attraction comes in, right? If we're in a positive mind state, then we can amplify and keep drawing more positive things to us. If we're in a negative, then that is also true. And just think about that for a second. How many people have you been around where nothing ever goes right and everything negative, and they keep going through one thing after another that never lines up for them, right? Versus people that maybe we could say are successful, but they have more of a positive mindset and they don't take themselves too seriously or this human experience so seriously. So if we can get ourselves into a more positive state of mind, then we increase our chances of joy, bliss, happiness, right? And that is our natural state. Think about it. If somebody says to you, what's heaven like? Don't we think automatically about bliss, about joy, pure divine love and happiness? Who doesn't want to be there? And if you think back about your experiences in this lifetime, we've had fleeting moments of that, right? We've had those moments. And if you haven't yet, maybe reflect a little bit because everybody has those touchstone moments. Maybe we're not aware of them right now. But let's get ourselves thinking in a more positive mind state. And so, one of the easiest ways, and that we're going to focus the teaching tonight about, is gratitude, right? Gratitude enhances your frequency dramatically. And that's that law of attraction gets going in a positive mind state. So, how do we become grateful? How do we look at this? There's so many things. I'm going to give you some examples about what I like to do. And any of you that follow me, you know, this is one of my favorite things is the beginning of the year. I start a gratitude jar and I write something down, at least 1 to 3 things a day, put it in this jar. And then on New Year's Eve, I empty out my gratitude jar and I reflect on that year. And it is amazing to me what I see. You see trends. There's certain people that over and over throughout the year that you were grateful for. You'll find certain situations, certain things about yourself. There's so many fascinating things that you can see in patterns when you do that kind of exercise. One thing that you can really do to learn to be grateful is notice the little things. So what I want you guys to do, and this is an exercise that they want you to practice this, is every day, just look around the room that you're in. Find 1, 2, 3 things that you're grateful for. Maybe you're grateful for the room that you're in. You have a roof over your head. Let's be grateful for the basic things, right? Maybe it's items that you own. Maybe it's the people in that room. Maybe it's the animals in that room. Maybe it's just you're grateful for breathing, the sun rising, if you're blessed to have a beautiful view. What is it? Your health. Are you grateful that you have health? Try to find something, little things, every single day. The more you start to tune your frequency, tune your attention to positive, grateful things, then you're going to start to see more and more of them as you move throughout your day. Another great way is to really communicate that gratitude, right? Tell the people in your life how much you love them. As a psychic medium, I can tell you one of the biggest things that people talk about on this side of the veil and the other side of the veil is they wish they would have communicated. They want to make sure that people know how they feel about them. And that's one of the beautiful things about being a medium, that I can help bridge that gap for people and they can find that closure. But how beautiful would it be for you to live your life where you didn't need that, to have that understanding that people really truly knew how you felt about them. For me personally, after my near death, I really changed that and I live that, where I want people to know that I appreciate them, that I love them, that I care about them. And you try to really acknowledge the little things about each person. Tell them why you love them so much. Tell them why you're so grateful for people to be in your life, because that's not, we take that for granted. We take being family for granted. We take our friendships for granted. We tend to do those things, right? But little things, if you like somebody's physical appearance, if you like something about, wow, that was so wonderful the way you handled that situation, tell people, tell a total stranger that you think that they have a beautiful smile. It is huge, the impact that you can have on people by just expressing the gratitude. The other day I witnessed a conflict and then the resolution. And I commented on this to the people that were involved because they stopped and realized this was escalating and that's not really what they meant. And the way that they handled the situation was beautiful. And we could all hope to handle a situation like that. And so I expressed to them that I was so grateful to witness that. Their love transcended the issue that was going on in the physical. But how beautiful is it if you can do that for yourself and for the people that you love and care about? So, when I was in school years ago, one of the exercises that we had to do was if you were going to leave this earth right now, what would be left unsaid, unfinished business? And that was such a profound experience for me to really stop and think about that. Do people know how I feel about them? And do I have unresolved issues with anybody or with myself? And so that began my spiritual journey on really trying to fix and get in better alignment with those things so that if I did leave the earth plane tomorrow, people would know how I feel about them. So I can't tell you how important that is. So think about that. One of the other things is doing something daily, like a daily gratitude practice. So that can be many different things. You could use a gratitude jar, like I gave that example earlier. You could journal. That's another great thing. One of the a very powerful way to start your day in the morning and setting intentions. Tony Robbins talks about being very grateful for people in your life, writing down and saying three things, three people, three situations that you're grateful for every day. And it can be a positive and a negative. Sometimes I'm really grateful for the contrast and the issues so that I can work them out, right? Think about those things every single day. So three people, three things, three situations that you're grateful for every single day. That starts off your day in gratitude and thinking that way so that you can attract more and more of that, right? So the more you do it, it becomes a habit, then it helps to shift that vibration instantly. The other thing that I think would be remiss if we didn't talk about is talking about the things that you're grateful for about you, right? So the hardest thing for most humans is to really truly look in the mirror and see yourself, see your flaws, see the positive. And it's even harder for a lot of people to give themselves that self love. So, part of gratitude practice is to include yourself because if you're not including yourself, it's incomplete. So, when you're doing this every day, think about what are some things that you're grateful for about you? Are you funny? Are you charismatic? Are you compassionate? Are you caring? What do you really feel that you're grateful for about yourself? Um, are you grateful for your ability to handle change and stress? Right? Aren't all of us struggling with that through this pandemic and all the changes that have come since then, right? So are you grateful for your ability to handle stress? And I remember one time in my gratitude jar, I must have been in a negative frequency because all I could say was I had a great hair day, the car worked, I got through my day. Like I really struggled to find things to be grateful for that day, but I still found things. And that's the key. You're going to have some great days where you're flying high and you can just write a bunch of things down like it's nothing. And you're going to have days where it's like, oh, I'm grateful that this day is over. And that is just part of the diversity of being human, right? Other things that you can do is to find the things that inspire you, right? So when I hear good music, I'm so grateful for that. Or when I see and I can appreciate the things around me, the beauty in life, in art, in music, in culture, in nature. And those things inspire me. What inspires you? A good book, a good lecture, a good podcast, other people. What inspires you? And that is something that you can be grateful for as well. So remember, this is a process. And what Spirit really wants us to begin to do is a daily gratitude practice. So they challenge you to think about this topic tonight and what you are right now doing. And think about how you can incorporate some of these things. And then remember to be mindful, as you move through your day, because that's going to help you identify other things of beauty and grace in your daily life for you to be grateful for. So what spirit really would like you to do um, is pick one thing, at least one thing this week to work on as far as the gratitude practice. Maybe you journal at night and you're grateful for the day and you diffuse. And you can incorporate this with other practices that you're doing right now that are supporting your spiritual journey. Remember, when we increase our frequency, that increases our connection to the divine. It increases your joy, your frequency, your ability to receive information from the divine. When you're at higher frequencies, it's easier, right? And aren't we always trying to empower ourselves to be the best that we can be, to strengthen our own intuition and our own natural abilities? And I don't know about you, but when I feel more connected with the divine, I'm more centered, I'm more grounded, I'm more balanced, I have more energy, I feel love, like at a different, unconditional love that only the divine really gives. And it really inspires me to move forward. When I'm in a lower vibration, I don't feel that. Even though it's still there, I just don't feel it. So look around at the people in your life and see people that are struggling. How can you be a blessing that they can be grateful for, right? How can you help them in their situations so that they are at their highest? So these are ways that we need to be able to reconnect with each other and I'm always grateful for the ability to help other people. And that's why I'm in the service work that I'm in. And I'm sure a lot of you are as well. But even if you're not, it's a blessing to be able to help somebody alongside the road. Somebody drops something, pick it up for them. See where you can show your grace and your divine connection in your daily life. And be grateful for those experiences because they humble you. They help you realize that when it comes down to it, we are all one. We are all one. We are just a different expression. We are all divine beings, and we really need to help support and shift from the me isolation to supporting each other and loving each other and being grateful for our connections and strengthening that. The more we do that, the more light we anchor onto the earth. So this is their teaching for this week. Such a powerful, powerful tool that I can't say enough about. So for me personally, I do the three things, three people, three situations right after my meditation in the morning. And I find that to help me stay in my heart space. And that's where I like to work from. And that's where I like to be from, is within my heart space. And I do my gratitude jar, which is entertaining. It is, I laugh when I do it. I find joy in just doing it. And it's a beautiful, beautiful gift for you to give to yourself. So even if you don't want to do it for the whole year, I'd say just do it for the rest of this month or for one whole month. Just challenge yourself to do it and to begin to see the people that you truly are grateful for versus the people you thought maybe you should be grateful for. It helps you start to uncover the people that are most significant and the things that are most significant. Sometimes that helps us challenge our belief system. Maybe people think that I should only be grateful for my blood family or certain things and not be grateful for challenging things. Or depending on your life experiences, you may realize that certain people, certain things are different than what you thought in the priority and what the things you're grateful for. So have fun with that this week. So what I'd like to do is take a caller and let's do some. All right. So as we're getting that ready, we're going to talk about different things each week that are going to help us get into that state of joy or bliss. And this week is gratitude. Next week, we're going to talk a little bit about meditation, and that's just a powerful tool that I love as well. So, for those of you that follow me, I am hosting with a one of my close friends, uh, who is Dr. Rebecca. She's a chiropractor and she does body, mind, and spirit healings. Her and I are doing a joint healing and readings sessions. You can find more information on my website, empoweredwellness.org, and through my Facebook page. So you guys want to go ahead and check that out. It's going to be this Sunday, and I'm so excited because we really want to pull in and heal body, mind, and spirit. And so her and I have the same kind of philosophy. So these are going to be very powerful readings. So check that out on my Facebook page, Reverend Dr. Michelle Walker. All right, we have Kayla in London, Ontario. Welcome, Kayla. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
What can I do for you today? Do you have a question that I can try to see what Spirit has to say about?
I don't. I have lots of questions, but I would just be grateful if you could just read what you can pick up off my energy, I guess.
Okay. All right. So when I tap into you, Spirit is just talking about, I feel like you have some big decisions coming up, and I feel like you're looking for direction, if that makes any sense to you. And I'm getting
a little bit, yeah.
I'm sorry?
It does make sense.
And I'm getting an apprehension and a lot you're placing a lot of emphasis on this. And Spirit is just wanting you to realize that though it's a big decision, you have some big decisions, sometimes you can get in your own way, or it can feel paralyzing because you're afraid of making a mistake and you don't want to hurt people, or you're afraid of failing. There's a lot of apprehension. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And Spirit is just saying that, give yourself a break. It's okay to follow your gut, to follow your joy. And if it doesn't work out, and if you decide something needs to change, have the flexibility to do that. You tend to be way too hard on yourself. And though it is important to think about what you're doing in life, I feel like you already know. And here's how I'm getting this. What I'm getting is like your gut is showing you one way, and you're intuitive, but you want to listen to it, but you're not listening to it because maybe that mind got involved and you're going, yeah, but the money, and yeah, but this, yeah, but that. Does that make sense?
I double guess it. No, I shouldn't.
So what's
so true, and I'm very into it. I can't say it.
What Spirit is saying is that you just sit with it for a minute, okay? And get out of the mind. So ask yourself, is this going to bring you joy? It's like oh my gosh, the person that I can't even think of the name, that she like, if you're going through your clothes and you look at it and you go, does this shirt bring me joy? And if it doesn't, you get rid of it. It's almost like that is what they're asking. What you need to do is what you want to do and what feels best to you, not what other people expect, not what you think is going to financially do it over your joy and your bliss. Because ultimately, if you follow where your joy is, the money comes because it's joy, versus making a shift where you're focused on money. Does that make sense to you? Or stability?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith and move in the direction of your dream, even if you have to walk alone for a little while.
Walking alone sometimes is a good thing, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as hard as it can be change, Spirit is just letting you know that you are being so divinely guided right now. And pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to those gut feelings. Keep your brain from dismissing things, right? And that's always the challenge. But pay attention to that. And I don't know if you journal, your dreams, but that may be something that you want to do right now because they're coming to you a lot in them. Do you understand that?
I know. Yes, I do, 100%.
So journal those dreams because I feel like they're giving you bits and pieces, and they want you to remember more and more. So when you go to sleep tonight and every night, just ask Spirit to help you answer this in your dream state, and that you remember it when you wake up, and then journal it.
Because I got a dream journal too, so.
Awesome. Because I feel like nobody's going to be able to tell you what to do because you're still in an apprehensive state, and it's going to take you to take that leap of faith and move forward on your own. So, but just know that you are being guided. You have that internal gut feeling. Trust that and move in that direction.
I mean, there's the odd time I double guess it, but then in the end, I'm always right? So, all right. I feel I'm always right anyways.
Sometimes it's so hard to trust those gut feelings and move in that direction. Trust me, because sometimes the information you receive from Spirit seems so drastic, but it's really the best because remember, they see it from a different perspective and they're not in the humanness. So they're not experiencing it from the level we are, but they are guiding from a higher advantage point. And so trust their guidance. You are supported and you will move in the right direction for you.
They want me to do the right thing. They don't want me, you know what I mean?
Trust your stomach and trust your gut and go in that direction. You have to be in joy. And when the joy is not there, you need to find a different direction.
Yeah.
That makes sense to you?
%. You're right.
Well, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best. Trust the guidance that you're getting from Spirit because they are taking you in the highest direction for your highest good. Much love to you.
Thank you. God bless you, eh?
You as well. And thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this week's show. I will see you guys next week. Have a beautiful week.